Twitter, Instagram, and all that. It's me, Kev from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. And I'm back, y'all. Yeah, man. Did y'all miss me? Did y'all think something happened to me? Well, it did. It's called work fatigue. They had me working day and night. Ooh. They had me working day and night. That's right, yo. Working day and night. Every night at this time I says, where's our man? Dear Lord, let him be all right. You know what? Y'all bust me up. The young lady who does the graphics and designs for my store, she checked on me too. I don't know if she want me to name drop her, but I want to let her know I appreciate her looking in like, oh, just, it was very simple. It was like, you good? You good? Yeah, all black folks know what that means. You good? See, especially when it come down to guys, when we dealing with each other, you think we ask about feelings? You think that's what we be doing? No. I don't care what the situation is. My boys have never asked me, how did that make you feel? The only thing they said to me was, you good? Yeah, and I summed it all up. But yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Okay, cool. Then let's roll. If you good, I'm good. So anyway, I appreciate that. Yeah, it was a very, very grueling work week, but I knocked it out the park. And if I ain't got the energy to bring to the show, I'm like, oh man, I got to give the people what they want. But at the same time, I don't want to give them no slop. You know what I mean? I don't want to give them no slop. So I feel pretty good. I got off earlier today after a hard week. And now I'm back. And hopefully I will never, ever, ever miss 3 days in a row again. Because I missed y'all just as much as y'all miss me. Now let's get busy. All right. I'm assuming y'all can hear me. So let's go ahead and get busy, y'all. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. MAGA man. MAGA man. Real gold love. Real gold love. Real gold love. This is G's in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Yeah, man. So Friday night, I had to go ahead and do a little throwback. My Adidas walked through closet doors and stepped all over Coliseum floors. Stepped on stage at Live Aid. All the people gave and the poor got paid. My Adidas rock. Had to go back, man. Hit them with a little bit of my Adidas. So anyway, let's go ahead and get busy instead of reminiscing about when rap was fun and good. All right, starting off with some craziness. But before we do that, don't forget to hit the like button, share my videos. Follow me on all the other social media platforms. And don't forget, I got a corner store. I was just talking about that. Some great new designs coming out. So check it out. Go in there, shop till your heart drops. And if you want to help out the channel so I don't have to work on the slave truck much longer, you're always welcome to do that. I got a Cash App and a PayPal right below each video. Dang on it. That's right. If you done messed around, lucked up and hit the lotto or something, you know what? Let's give to charity. Yeah, you could drop that on me so I don't have to worry about YouTube playing games no more. Because I'm telling you right now, when I break out, I'm going to have some real for their butt in these hands, Leroy. That's what I'm going to have. So anyway, let's continue having some good times and exposing this nonsense. Starting off with Creepy. I kind of miss Creepy, Sleepy, Sleazy, Slimy, Sloppy Joe. And when he's gone, I'm going to miss him too. What will I ever laugh at? See, and when he's gone, people probably going to be like, don't be picking on him. He's dead and gone. So you think I care about that? He's still going to get it from the grave. I might go ahead and park right outside of his grave. All right, here's my greatest creepy, sleepy jokes. Are you in there? Are you in there, creepy? I want you to hear this. Yeah, because this dude has been ruining our country for the last, I won't even say 4 years. This dude's been a part of ruining our country for decades. So let's go ahead and check out the latest on the creepy cam and see what he's up to.
This weekend, for reports.
Yeah. I want to qualify that. Yeah. The only part of him I'm going to miss is the jokes. Yeah. So hold on 1 second. Let me turn off my notifications. I just caught that. Yeah. I'm glad. All right. Now. Yeah. It's the jokes. Other than that, I ain't going to miss nothing else about him. His policies, none of that stuff. He's just funny and he don't even know it. See, like stuff like this.
It's amazing. There are reports of cheers breaking out of the trenches in eastern Ukraine. It probably came from one of your folks.
One of your pokes. Probably came from one of your pokes. What would we do without all of the gaffes to laugh? Good grief. Nobody will ever gaff this much. Nobody, y'all. Nobody. This is 100% rich gaffes right off the gaff tree.
Came from one of your folks.
24 hours later.
Oh, okay.
When I said we were going to have become the manufacturing capital of the world again when I got elected, they looked at me, some of my friends, and said, "You're crazy." We've already created nearly 800,000 new manufacturing jobs since I took office. And
pokes. See, maybe he's mixing folks with people. I don't know where he's getting the P to put on folks. And pokes. All right, so let's go ahead and continue. Somebody said, as a Christian, I rebuke Joe. Yeah, he does need some rebuking. Yeah, especially when it comes down to that pokey mouth he got. And pokes.
We're just getting started. How we can be the leader of the world, having the best education in the world, I don't understand. We increased Pell Grants by $800 a year, the largest increase in a decade, which matters to 40% of the AA and NHPI students. They rely on Pell Grants.
Oh, say that twice fast. And the students that rely on Pell Grants. Now, guys, here's the thing. This man is out on the campaign trail trying to get reelected, but he's having a hard time talking. I thought that was one of the most important parts of being a politician. You got to be able to communicate. Now, understand, Creepy just sent out some type of raggedy little commercial threatening Trump, talking about something. All right, he wants to debate me. Go ahead, make my, wait, what is it? Make my day, week, what? I don't know. Take 17. Okay. All right. You want to debate me? Go ahead. Have at it. Wait, no, what's the words again? It was like 15 different takes, but nonetheless, this guy is the one who wants to get reelected, and he's out here making, flub ups like this.
Folks, I know hearing...
Pass the peas like you used to do. Pass the peas like you used to do. Pass the peas like you used to do. Joe can't get past those peas, man. Pass the peas like you used to do. I said pass the peas like you used to do. So Joe is stuck on those peas and pokes.
In the name of your husband, wife, father, mother, son, or daughter, brother, sister.
Here come one of Joe's weak, sorry, fake efforts to try to connect and relate and make himself seem human instead of demonic and relatable. Yeah, he wants to empathize with the people, so he got his built-in automatic empathizing response to anybody who's ever had a tragedy. See, he got it on repeat. So let's see if he realizes that this right here is repetition and not sincerity.
Brings it all back, as if you got that news just 10 minutes ago. That black hole in the middle of your chest, you feel like you're being sucked into. It's like losing part of your soul.
Some of you still have that feeling like you've been sucked.
Let me guess. Like you've been sucked into a black hole.
Sucked into a black hole in your chest. Wonder, my God, will it ever change?
Yeah.
What
I'm wondering is, will that response ever change to every tragedy or every group that you talk to that you want to make them think that you actually care about them? That's what I want to know. So maybe he'll change it up a little.
Pulled in nose, as if you get pulled in a black hole in your chest. There's no way out.
But wait, there's more.
Because the day will come, it's hard to believe, when the thought of your husband or your wife or your son or your daughter will bring a smile to your lips before it brings a tear to your eye.
A few minutes later.
But I promise you, the day will come again when the memory of your loved one will bring a smile to your lips before it brings a tear to your eye.
The day will come when it'll bring a smile to your lips before it brings...
You see him add the S late? Bring a smile to your lips. That brain caught that one. It was like, all right, Joe, wait a minute. I'm pretty sure it's an S on there. Somebody bring in the S. Hurry up. The word's almost over. Lip. There you go. Close catch. So now, install the S on the end of lips at the last second. Let's go ahead and see. Did he catch it? Did they make it make sense, or did it? Okay, let's see.
Smile to your lips before it brings
Smile to your lip. Bring the S. Hurry up. Lips.
a tear to your eyes. The day will come when the memory of your loved one will bring a smile to your lips.
Now that S done came back, guys. But unfortunately, the S, they're like, all right, we're not going to be late with the S this time, all right? Let's bring the S out before the word. There you go. Yes, just have it sitting out there. So now all of a sudden, it'll bring a smile to your lips.
Bring a smile to your lips.
Before it brings a tear to your eye. They want to undo what they finally got done.
Okay, this is deep.
And then what we finally got done to make up for it.
What?
They want they want to give power back to Big Pharma.
Okay, wait a minute. And anybody understand that? This is our communicator in chief, right? Yeah, the greatest communicator in the White House. That's according to Black Adrop. So let's see.
They want to undo what they finally got done.
Undo what they finally got done.
And then what we finally got done to make up for it.
What? Somebody said they sent me a hilarious meme. Did you email it to me, Monica? If you did, I'm going to go and find it immediately. I'm going to make it my mission right after this. So y'all hear that? Statement of some sort. I'm not quite sure what he was talking about, what he was referring to. But yeah.
Lips. Bring a smile to your lips.
Before it brings a tear to your eye.
Okay.
They want to undo what they finally got done.
Yeah.
And then what we finally got done to make up for it. They want to give power back to Big Pharma.
I have nothing for you. Kev, what did y'all talk about? Undoing what was done and putting a smile on people's lips and finally getting done with stuff that was undone, that did it over and over again, but it didn't do it all the way, so they did it again. Something about that. Anyway, there you go. That's all I can recall. I have no context. I have nothing. So anyway, guys, the reason Joe and the rest of the horrific, creepy crew is getting blasted is because of all the lies and the gaffes and much more. So here is the inflation 9%. Yeah, is a phony symphony. Here we go. Y'all ready for the phony symphony? Inflation 9% is phony symphony.
Inflation has gone slightly up. It was at 9% when I came in. It was 9% when I came to office.
Jared, why does he keep saying that? You're his top economic, you're the head of the economic advisors. Do you ever whisper in his ear, Mr. President, just to be technical about it, it wasn't 9% when you assumed office, it was 1.4%. It got as high as 9% in 2022. You brought it down from that, but it was never, ever, ever 9% when you came into office. So why does he keep saying it?
We don't know.
Well, first of all, let me point out that in that very quote you played, the president talked about how concerned he was for households struggling with prices that he
I didn't ask you that.
That's not what I asked you. That's not what I asked you.
Oh boy, I tell you, this one was special. Wait a minute. Yeah, there we go. I got my little stick that the guys, the conductors have. So now that man tried to come in, and he didn't even need to pivot. He came in on a pivot. He didn't even address the question. Well, first of all, the president was talking about something way besides what I want to talk about right here. So let's go ahead and focus on that, okay? All right, so now that man comes in with a pivot, didn't even, let's say, let me go ahead and at least say something and then say, but you know what I'd like to talk about? No, he pivoted off grip.
He misrepresenting this.
He's making the point that the factors that caused inflation to climb to 9% were in place when he took office.
No, that's not what he said. He said it was at 9%. The fact of the matter is it wasn't 9%. So if I can't trust him quoting data in real time, why should I believe what he's talking about now?
So the annual growth in core inflation in the second quarter of 21 was in fact about 9%, and his point about inflation down 60% off its peak is very much the case. So
no, it wasn't. It was not at that. So you're almost as bad as he is. Why can't you just say it was high, it got as high as 9%? You'd be accurate in saying that, but instead to hang it on his predecessor that you inherited.
I'm sorry.
That was
Conducting the 9% lie of inflation is very, grueling. Let me catch my breath. I gotta put hands on the hips. Hold on for a second, y'all. Okay, now let's go back a little bit and see how this man is trying to cope and get out of this mess right now. Because he's all caught up in it.
And his point about inflation down 60% off its peak is very much the case. So
No, it wasn't. It was not at that. So you're almost as bad as he is.
That was my favorite part right there. You're almost as bad as he is, man. And then you're not even brain damaged. Now you got to come up and clean up the brain damage that's been left all over the place. Joe has been leaving these brain damage crumbs all over the place. So now this man got to come in. Yeah, somebody said for once, Neil did good. Thank you. Because most of the time, he's raggedy. So now he's blasting this dude. And this dude, man, he just won't give it up. He won't give it up, man. He's going to semi-give it up at the end. So let's go ahead and finish this in.
Why can't you just say it was high, it got as high as 9%? You'd be accurate in saying that, but instead, hang it on.
Because we're liars. Doom, 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 doom. Yo, we're liars. Doom, 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 doom. Yeah, so now this guy got a very tough job to somehow dance around the fact that Joe Biden's been going out there not once, twice, I think he did it like 3 times, and saying that inflation was 9% when he came in. When we all know it was like 1.2, it was low as heck, somewhere around there. But now this guy got to go out there and try to make it make sense that, well, what he was trying to say or what he was really saying. And we don't want to know all of that. We want to know what he said and why he said what he said, man. Now, I know you got a tough job working for Creepy because you're part of the crew. You're with Creepy and the crew. You the one signed on to that. Now, do your job.
To hang out his predecessor that you inherited.
You see the defeat, the subtle defeat. My man said, I, and dropped the head like, oh, God. All right, I hope the kids aren't up watching this. Are they in school? I'm pretty sure they're in school right now. I hope my wife dropped them off. I don't want them seeing me getting destroyed right here.
Something that was through the roof when we were in the middle of COVID. It just seems to the American people, whether you're Republican or Democrat, you're lying. You're just lying.
Well, hold on. I hear you. I hear you making the point that I think is unequivocally true. The factors that took inflation to 9% were in place when he took
That
office.
is not what he said, Jared. And just say, sir, it was not 9%. Stop it with the 9%, because the more you say that, the more people go believe what you're saying.
Look, I think what the American people care most about is
It's true.
Inflation.
Truth, Jared.
Hold on, Neil, this only works if you let me talk, okay?
You haven't answered my question, but I asked it 5 times, 5 ways.
Fifth floor problem.
Not in my house.
Not in my house.
5 times, 5 ways.
Yo, he got his butt beat. He got his butt beat on national TV in front of everybody. All right, look, come on, Neil. All right, we all know why. You're going to make me say it. Okay, Biden is suffering from dementia, and he probably doesn't even know he's saying 9%, or it's just a flat out lie. One of the two. Is that what you wanted out of me? Yes, that's what I wanted. And he pretty much got beaten to submission to where Neil just had pity on him and kind of moved on. But if you watch that whole clip, he even goes back to it towards the end. He kind of revisited it. And he's saying that, look, man, all this other garbage y'all trying to tell us about the economy and what y'all are doing, if you can't get the basics right, I don't see how we can believe anything else you have to say. And this is a point that is across the board when it comes down to the whole Democrat Party. And this is something that I can't understand. Give you an example. All of those Democrat voters that still have a little bit of sanity left. I know a lot of people get caught up in all of their propaganda and hate and division, talking about their opponent is this, he's evil, he's hateful, he's racist. And that's standard when it comes down to the Democrats, but it's even on a whole nother level when it comes down to Trump. But they never stop to think, if this is a party who can look me in the face and tell me that men can be women and women can be men, how in the world can I even move from there to the next level? of trust. Do you understand? I don't care how fine a woman is. If we have a first date and we're sitting at a table and she tells me, did you know that pigs can fly? The date's over. I'm dealing with a live one. I'm going, that's a funny joke. And she's sitting there with a straight face. Like, no, I'm serious. And I'm going, what makes you think that? Well, there's been some research, and there's some things that we've been looking at for the last century or so. And did you know back in the day, the indigenous people believed that? And I'm going, we got a live one. I'm at Monsieur Gorsat, bring me the check. Bring me the check. That's what would happen. If you're sitting across from anybody and they start talking about well, I actually do believe, man. I don't care if they're a family member. I would see, if you're a stranger, I might just walk away quietly, just be like, all right, I'm gonna go over here and stand. But if I love you or you a friend or family, I'm going, you do realize that's crazy, right? I'm not gonna sit back and argue with a stranger over that nonsense. But with you, have you lost your mind? At what point did they break you? So now, if you can't get the simple fundamentals of physics, biology, all of that stuff right, everything else I question. That is like you being a Democrat politician saying, it is dark outside. And I go, no, that's the sun I'm looking at. By the way, I'm going to get your taxes down. And you know what? I'm going to make sure that the inflation, and I'm going, everything else that comes out of your mouth, I'm assuming is a lie for the simple fact you started off with a obvious lie, a checkable lie. I could check that. I look right outside like, oh, nope, there's a sun out there. And you just straight lied to me. So there you go. That man started off with 9% multiple times. Yet you want us to believe the rest of the lie about the economy. And I'm saying, wow, but there are voters for some reason that take that type of slop that the Democrats feed them. That's what they feed them, straight slop. As we're going to see some slop being slung on some of these fake networks that's trying to cope with the fact that the Biden administration is getting their butts beat and they don't like it. Y'all send in the hater squad.
And what can only be described as a bizarre rally in New Jersey, Donald Trump had hyped.
Oh, God. Now, I've been waiting for some dummies like this to come into my life. So these dummies finally done came in and tried to undermine Trump's wonderful rally up there in New Jersey. Now, they couldn't come in and say what we have to describe as a magnanimous rally, an amazing rally, a record-breaking rally. Nope. What did she describe it as? Oh, boy.
And what can only be described as a bizarre rally in New Jersey.
A bizarre rally, y'all. So let me understand this, guys. 100,000 folks showed up to a bizarre rally, or what can only be described as a bizarre rally. Man, it's funny to see them try to pull this crap off. It is, man. But now, don't be mistaken. Okay, somebody is sitting there at the table, the dinner table, watching. Did you hear about this bizarre rally Trump had? I bet you probably only 100 people showed up. I wonder why they won't show us any clips from the audience. I'm sure nobody showed up. He probably had less than Joe. Somebody is sitting there watching this segment, and boy, this segment is hilarious. They try everything in this one. So here we go.
Donald Trump had higher praise for Hannibal Lecter and Al Capone than any.
Hello, Clarice. Has the lamb stopped crying? Fly, fly. Fly, fly away. Are you kidding me? So now, instead of taking it once again in context, understanding cheek and tongue, understanding Trump was up there talking and making a point that he was being persecuted worse than Al Capone. Al Capone didn't have a record like, Trump does when it comes down to indictments and all of that stuff. Yeah. All of that. Instead of focusing on the jokes and putting them in context, what did she say? He had more praise for Al Capone and now, once again, you got to be a dummy You got to be a 100% dummy if you're sitting there at the table and like you hear Trump's up here praising Al Capone. For what reason? For what reason? This is when you look at it on the most simplistic level. I just want to get up and say I love Al Capone. He was an amazing criminal. Absolutely amazing. Are you kidding? Oh, and by the way, one of my favorite people was Hannibal Lecter. But did you see how he was eating people? It was amazing, fascinating. I mean, what would be the reason he's talking about Al Capone and Hannibal Lecter? But you expect the dummies that watch MSNBC to not stop and say, well, what is it about Hannibal Lecter? And because it couldn't be he just likes Al Capone and Hannibal Lecter. Could it?
Anyone daring to hold him accountable. In one especially petty attack, he workshopped his newest derisive nickname for Manhattan DA.
Wow. Petty attacks. There you go. You mean unlike the petty attacks that's happening right now on your show, your network, where you couldn't even give him credit for a decent rally right there? Couldn't even say it was decent. That's just bizarre. Yeah, petty attacks. It's Trump. He's the one that's doing the petty attacks.
And brag. He also accused Judge Juan Merchan, who's presiding over the case, of being, quote, highly conflicted. But the main target of Trump's latest public tantrums, well, that was President Biden.
Oh, good.
Apologies if this spoils your breakfast, but we feel it's necessary to play this clip to see his gaslighting firsthand.
Gaslighting? Now, I'm sure they're going to play creepy, sleepy Trump and his ultra MAGA and his racist white nationalism and Ku Klux Klan and he's a fascist and right now. I'm sure they're going to play that, right? I'm sure that's what they're going to play.
Joe is weak. He's only good at cheating on elections, but it's not.
All of that right there is good. I don't understand what the problem is. I mean, everybody that got common sense knows that. He is weak. He did cheat in an election, especially when he was talking about some, I like to say, put together the most comprehensive voter fraud program that nobody even asked him what did he mean when he said that. I'm amazed by that. Nobody followed up and said, we heard you say that you put together the most comprehensive voter fraud program. What did you mean by that, Mr. President? Were you going ahead and alluding to possible cheating? Nobody even asked him because he wouldn't have had a good explanation for it. But here she is saying that it's gaslighting. Did Trump is saying he's
Not him. He's surrounded by fascists around the Oval Office. It's not him.
And that's 100% true. Along with the ones that doing this segment right here.
He's not doing it. Very good at cheating on elections.
Here we go. Send in the fascists. So here comes the fascist crew right here about to go ahead and try to pull off the greatest gaslighting, more so than what they just accused Trump of doing. But notice the two fake Republicans that they're going to try to use for this crap.
Morning.
All right.
Such actors. You see Simone up there with that dome. Simone with the dome. Simone up there with the dome. Simone in the dome up there. All right, shoot. Like, here we go. This is what I get paid to do. So, shoot, put on that red dress. So now let's see these fascists at work.
This rally, Keith,
what
is not surprising.
Oh, it ain't surprising. Yeah, it ain't surprising that all these people showed up with this raggedy economy and this horrible president that we got installed in there. But yeah, this rally here, it ain't surprising. Yo, you know it's surprising to y'all that 100,000 people showed up in New Jersey. But now you're not talking about that, buddy. Are you, you big, fat, stinking, fake, disgusting, tooth-back, no good, jelly-back, snag-a-tooth, pepper-tooth, peanut butter-tooth, having, dirty diaper-wearing, pig with an apple in his mouth, served on a dirty hubcap, having, open stadium up top, sorry, stinking, wet noodle, back, jelly, stinking, funky, gangrene, having, rhino you. I'm sorry. Let's finish with the rhino.
It is the typical fare that we get from Donald Trump. But what fascinates me is
your ability to lie. Fascinates me is my ability to keep a straight face and try to pretend that I'm a Republican. That's pretty fascinating to me. And I'm sitting here turning my wheels trying to spin this into something negative. That's what I'm doing.
Just his ability to continue to perpetuate the lie and the gravitational force it has among voters out there.
The gravitational force it has amongst the voters out there. And I'm going, why do you think they're gravitating towards it? Because it's not a lie. You're trying to belittle the intelligence of everybody. So now apparently you're not factoring in the latest report coming out of Georgia about all of those missing ballots and stuff like that. You're not going to factor that in. It's always going to be a lie. I don't care if we find 1 gazillion votes that were not submitted or disappeared. We don't want to know about that stuff. Well, I didn't hear nothing about that. So I'm just going to keep going with, he keeps perpetrating this lie. And I'm saying, so it don't matter. All those reports that Benny Johnson covers about more voter fraud, people getting arrested, all of the things that we've been saying since 2020. But these folks, for some reason, they don't even get those reports. I guess nobody even like tells them about it or something. What kind of news network are you? How do you even get your stories? I mean, you would think somebody would be like, dude, did you hear what's going on out there? And you know, they found these many votes. And did you know so-and-so was arrested here? And did you know the cops figured out something in Michigan and they submitted it to the FBI and the FBI buried it? Did you see that one? You didn't see that? Yeah, so let's finish listening to the fake Republican here.
That despite everything that they know and everything that we've learned since January 6th, there's still this movement in the direction of these lies. But
see, you forgot to include, in spite of all the lies we've told, in spite of all the gaslighting and all of the manipulation and propaganda that we've been slinging, they still happen to keep moving towards this movement. What is it? It's you guys. That's what it is. We see through your facade. We see through the gaslight, fake news lie, Democrat lie. We see through all those gas lies. That's what we see through. And you can't figure it out. Yeah, now put that in your pipe and smoke it. I would love to meet this bum just for a nice, friendly conversation.
How do you assess what Trump is doing and why he's still successful at doing despite everything else that would undo?
In spite everything that we've tried to do, that's what I could go ahead and translate for these people instead of a signer on the side. Okay, yeah, I'll go ahead and translate what these folks are really saying. All right, this is called propaganda translation here. So in spite of all the things that we've done, all the lies, all of the stories, all of the acting, all of the hit pieces and stuff like that, why is it no longer working?
Anyone else in politics?
Michael, it is so frustrating, really, as a conservative who...
As a fake rhino, as a dang on rhino and partners, as partner rhinos right here, it's frustrating. Because see, our job is to come out and be the gatekeepers for the conservatives. That's our job. That's what that guy should be saying. See, he is to conservatives what black Democrats are to black folks or minorities. They have gatekeepers. These Marxists, globalists, fascists, dang on communists, whatever you want to call them, they're very strategic. They make sure they put people in place to control narratives and manipulate the masses. So I'm sure they anticipated a point where, okay, if we have a Republican pop up that we don't like and we need to undermine, we need to have fake Republicans in place to try to go ahead and steer the people back towards our whatever we got going on, our little, system that we have set up. So here's one of them right here. Here's a gatekeeper. They've also installed those folks for black folks. All right, just in case black folks start thinking too much for themselves. We got to have, Coconut right there. We got Coconut on the set. No, definitely Joy Reid. She's the #1 stunner. Sunny. All right, all of them. So let's finish hearing from these rhinos right here just trying to convince us to abandon Trump.
became a Republican because I was against this victimhood status in our politics.
God.
That is Trump's only play. It's whether it's the elections, whether it's these trials, Trump is the victim of the.
And see, that's why it's working, because we finally found a real reason to apply victimization. We're able to see the evidence of victimization when it comes down to Trump. Unlike all of the other victims out there, you know what? You're trying to unexist me because you don't believe that I can be a trans, gender neutral, binary, peanut butter gender and this and that. You're not a victim. Yeah, you're not a victim at all. You're no Daisy. You're no Daisy at all. So now here he is talking about Trump's being a victim, and we're going, well, as conservatives, we're wise enough to see it has to be evidence of victimization, victimhood. He ain't pulling stuff out of his butt. Could it be the 4 indictments? Could it be that as evidence? Could it be 2 impeachments? I'm just wondering, what could make him feel like he's a victim? Could it be the fact that Alvin Funky Fat Albert Bragg drug up a dirty, stinking, dead case, drug in a dang on porn star and a convicted liar, knowing that all the evidence pointed towards Trump not being guilty, but you're going to sling him out there anyway, just to go ahead and do that during, a voting season? Could it be that? Could it? Could it be Laquifa, big ankles, Godzilla looking, tearing up, dang on New York? Laquifa James? Could it be that? Trying to beat this man for his property, his businesses, and charge him $500 million? Could it be that? Could it be Jack in the Box stinking, the funky, disgusting Smith trying to go ahead and set him up with all of that garbage? Could it be the FBI and the CIA and all of them colluding with each other with crooked Hillary to try to accuse Trump of being a Russian agent? I'm just wondering. I'm flabbergasted. I'm scratching my dome. Where do we come up with this Trump is a victim theory? It just fell out of the sky. This guy is skirting through unscathed. Nobody's standing in his way. No, not at all. There's no convictions. There's no rules and protocols that has never happened and is being broken just for Trump. There's none of that going on. None of that. This guy right here has had smooth sailing. And we're just saying, oh yeah, look at him. He's a victim. And he's crying that he's a victim for nothing too, right? These dummies, man. But once again, they're relying on dummies to believe their stupidity. Let's continue.
Judge of your elector down the street who's...
What did you just say?
Whether it's these trials, Trump is the victim of the judge of your...
Of the judge? Where'd they get this Renault? Where'd they go get this Rhino? Yeah, he can't even hide his horn. I thought the judge, all right. And then the victim, oh crap, it's rising up again. So now this guy, victim of the judge. You mean the judge is? I mean, almost all of them, except the judge out of Florida, has been trying to stick it to him. And the Supreme Court thus far.
Elector down the street who's just, a citizen engaged in our elections and working. Everyone is out to get him. And it's just bizarre. I mean.
Yeah. And you know what gave me that idea? Probably the 100% negative coverage on MSNBC that is all designed to get Trump. Could it be that I feel that way based on the opening of this segment talking about a bizarre rally, and I'm thinking, well, that's not what I saw. I saw a wonderful rally. People were happy. They were excited. All those interviews of those people talking about why they came out to support Trump. But your opening line was a bizarre rally over in New Jersey. Could it be that? And yet you're out here trying to tell us that everybody's out to get Trump. Yes, they are, including you.
This country has given Trump everything. He's not a victim.
And now they're trying to take everything from him just because he decided to stand up for the country that gave him everything. There you go. See, you see how that works? So these fascists that wants to take everything from the regular people are mad because Trump wants to stand up for the regular people and reserve and preserve what we've all come to love and know as a free country. But that doesn't work for fascism. See, that doesn't work for communism. So now we got to go after the one guy, and you wonder why everybody's attacking Trump. The one guy standing in the way of complete elitist control over the masses that you're a part of. See, unbelievable. Let's continue hearing this guy try to gaslight us and be the overseer to convince us. Let's see if he's convincible. Y'all think he's convincible to get us to go ahead and abandon Trump? Let's hear it. He got some more arguments.
Victim.
Right.
I mean, this guy's, he owns hotels. I mean, and he's not a particularly good businessman.
Oh, God. Unlike you, whoever you are, man. Mr. Rhino Man. So, yeah, he's not a particularly good businessman who just started Truth Social and his stock is out of the roof and has buildings with his names on it. How many buildings with your name on it? Oh, none? Oh, I didn't even know your name. I still don't know this guy's name. I just call him Rhino Man. Yeah, he's Rhino Man. So now Rhino Man is up here judging Trump on he's not a particularly good businessman.
Right.
But yet every time he comes up and is talking about anything, it is always poor me, poor you. We're all in this together. They're all out to get us. And that is his trick in politics. And so it's just frustrating to see because every week it's something different.
And you're not pulling a trick right now trying to get us to believe that garbage? It's always him. He's always a victim. And then are y'all anybody believe in it? No? Okay. All right, what then? Okay, I'm getting paid for this, right? I'm getting paid to prostitute myself on here? Okay, good. Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay. Now, that Trump's now, if he is aware of the Trump base and all of his voters, he should know right now we're looking at him like mud. I'm looking at that guy. You might as well replace him with a big stack of shite right on that set right there. All three of those. They look like 3 piles of shite as I look at them. I'm not just saying that because 2 of them are brown. Okay. All 3 of them look like a big pile of shite, and the one in the middle just looks like a big pile of dog shite that turned white. That's all. He looks like white dog shite. And you better go over there and lick that white dog shite right now. That guy right there is white dog shite. So let's continue listening to these 3 piles of shite.
And there's something to blame.
I don't know about you, Simone. Well, I do know about you, Simone. Look
at her.
Simone has had her cup full of this crazy for a while.
Because you know what? Donald Trump just keeps telling us who he is. And
you guys keep showing us who you are. Propaganders. There you go. Uh-huh. So let's hear from Simone in that dome. Here we go.
And Ruth, I am concerned that people are not taking what he is saying seriously.
Yeah, there you go. She's concerned for us. People, I'm concerned that people have too much intelligence to realize that we are actors and propagandists. And I'm concerned about that because it's not working. So I got to go ahead and blame them. Like you guys are going to be to blame if the whole country gets overthrown. You're not taking Trump seriously. We're trying to help you. We're trying to convince you that he's a threat to. So let's listen to Simone in that dome.
You know, like the thing he rails against the judge. He railed about fascists. They need to take.
You mean like how many times y'all have called him and all of us, all of his real MAGA supporters, fascists. Now y'all say we love Trump and we want fascism. We want all of that stuff. We want it. We want a dictator and all of that mess. Yeah, you mean like that? Or how about that judge that didn't rule for Jack Smith that y'all went ahead and said she's unqualified? Y'all might as well just went in on her. She's a dummy. She's a woman. Did you know all women judges that are conservatives are dumb? Yes, that's true. That's just kind of like something we all know genetically. It's pre-programmed in them. They're dumb. Women judges are dumb that are conservatives. And she gets her judge of color and a woman judge pass revoked because she's not siding with us. She's not a part of our real fascist crew of activists, judges that we've brought in for all these other cases. So now here she is. Talking about Trump is the one that's accusing them, but, we're allowed to attack judges when they don't rule on our behalf. We're allowed to send angry protesters to judges' houses when they rule against Roe versus Wade.
Take him seriously.
We got to take him seriously. We got to take him seriously. Just like we're supposed to take you seriously as you're sitting up there acting, rolling up your sleeves. Yeah. We're supposed to take you seriously. Unreal.
The crazy is concerning because the crazy could be back in the Oval Office if people are not diligent with their vote.
Yeah.
In other words, if you guys don't vote for Joe Biden, the real president could be back in the office to set things straight. After all of these shenanigans that have taken place, after all of the destruction, after all of the inflation that it was 9%, I guess, when Joe came in. Yeah, all of that stuff. Yeah, all of the broken border and all of these illegal immigrants and stuff that came in. The real president might come back in and reverse all of that. So trust us. Vote against your own self-interest and vote back in the guy who can barely walk across the lawn. That guy, the one that can't get words right, even when he's reading them.
Absolutely, and one way to take it seriously is to see him as part of a broader authoritarian pattern. The whole victim thing, Mussolini used to stop.
Oh, God. And they wonder why we don't believe him. There we go. This is a perfect example. It's that overkill. Here she goes. That so goes back to the authoritarian. And Mussolini, did I say Mussolini? He's a bad guy, right? Sorry, what other bad guys we need to throw in? Just mix them in with them. They're not relevant, but we just going to slide them in. Because just throwing their name in the midst of a statement makes people go, Mussolini. Hey, Trump must be Mussolini. So let's finish hearing her come in and try to piggyback off of Simone, who didn't have nothing to say. But she just punted it out to this propagandist.
Style himself as a victim. This is a fundamental part of the authoritarian playbook. In Turkey, Erdogan says he's a victim. Putin says the whole Russian nation is a victim. And this goes with depicting your opponents as the real fascists. In fact, now that...
Boy, you hear that? Reprojection. Accuse your opponent of what you're doing. So, that's right. But there it is, the victim, and Mussolini. Who else is evil? The Putin's evil. He's pretty evil, and all of that stuff. So now, once again, they're going back to the old playbook. Trump's evil. He's a dictator. He's going to take over the whole country, set himself up, and never, ever, ever, never, ever leave office. How's he going to do that? Don't know. Why is he going to do that? For reasons.
Ramping up this new talking point that Biden is surrounded by fascists, that Biden's an authoritarian. And that worries me.
No, that's not why he's saying it. It could be because he forced the vaccine and a whole bunch of people who didn't want to take it. Could it be that? Listen, we've been patient, but our patience is running thin. Wait, the camera's not over here? Wait, oh, yeah. Listen, we've been patient. Could it be that? Could it be that his DOJ has been coordinated with all these prosecutors to try to stop Trump, throw him in jail, get him off the ballot? Could it be that? Could it be that his FBI was spying on Catholics and showing up at cribs, swinging down ropes and stuff on people who were not violent? They could have called him. Could you come in and speak with us? No, we don't want to do that. We want to show a force. And we're going to show that man with his family and his children that we mean business. That's right. Mommy, is Daddy ever coming home? No, kid, your dad is never coming home, unfortunately. Let's take him away, boys. And this is a lesson for you, whippersnapper. Happened to you if you decide to think on your own. So now, could it be all of that? Could it be the fact that the DOJ and the FBI is still tracking down people from that bootleg narrative of January 6th? Could it be that? Unbelievable.
Because guess who was the first person to say that he represented freedom and democracy was tyranny? It was Mussolini.
There you go. And so Trump's Mussolini. Just in case you're wondering what she's trying to go with. Just in case you're trying to make the connection. I don't know what these names are. Who are these? What does Mussolini have to do with maybe Kevin from Kevin's Corner can help me understand what she's doing. She wants you to associate Trump with Mussolini, therefore compromising all of your common sense, throwing out all of the evidence that shows he is nowhere near Mussolini or any of those people that they're trying to associate with him. Looking at his past history of 4 years, all the things he's done, how he supported the Constitution, law and order, defended our country, our sovereignty, all of these things. Do not include that in your rationale. Just listen to Mussolini, Trump. Make the connection. For all of the bubbleheads out there watching this mess that I have to go ahead and deprogram through this wonderful piece of red pilling that I'm dropping right here. Swallow the whole thing. Don't break it up. Let me crushing it up. I want you none of that mess. You better swallow that horse pill. Take that. I want to see the lump going down the throat. Let's continue.
Their talking point 100 years later, Trump is using this. And so we know what happened when Mussolini and Hitler were not taken seriously early on.
You see that smile? What's wrong with that? You know what's happening when Mussolini. It's hard to lie through this teeth. That's what she is. What is going on with her crooked mouth? Did you got Bell's palsy? What's up with that? You know, the mouth is Mussolini.
And people thought they were clowns. They were just buffoons. And we have this, wisdom of history, and we need to use it today.
Man, people who talk to their teeth disgust me. We have this thing, it's Mussolini, and I don't want. What is that? Yeah, you look like a wolf, just smiling but ready to eat somebody. Looking at the chickens like, I just came to see how you guys are doing. Is everyone fine in here? We know what you're here for. Smiling through those crooked teeth.
Well, part of that wisdom is about the fact that he is attacking the judiciary, right? And the fact that he is specifically.
Unlike what we saw last week, when everybody on MSNBC was coming out attacking that beautiful, wonderful, intelligent immigrant from another country who we all love, immigrants who come here from other countries and stuff like that. Legally. Yeah. And she's a woman of color. Y'all was all saying nasty things about her. Y'all was saying she was unqualified. That's right. Y'all was saying she was a Trump agent and asset and stuff. Y'all was attacking her integrity. All of that. But now all of a sudden, now Trump's attacking the judicial system and all of that.
Attacking Judge Juan Merchan. That is both an attack on that specific judge, but it's also an attack on the system overall.
Oh, on the system overall. Unlike the Supreme Court that you guys, you know what? We need to abolish. Remember they brought out that other dude with the big afro, the guy with looks like a bunny in a bush, the big heavy set dude that looks like what's that dude? Not Clump, Professor Clump. They brought him out. And he's talking about that's why we need to get rid of the Supreme Court. We need to go ahead and pack the courts. It's been compromised. All last week, we could see the justice system is working for Trump, and you know what? They're trying to get him reelected. So now all of a sudden, he's attacking the system that we attacked last week when it didn't work for us.
Yeah, well, actually what he's doing is, this is part of a massive and concerted attempt to delegitimize our whole democratic system, all our institutions, but especially the
reprojection. This is exactly what the Democrats are doing, trying to revamp it all, tear that sucker down, man, because it ain't working for them no more. They need to tear that mess down, and all the institutions that makes our country what it is. They are trying to revamp.
Judiciary. Authoritarians always go after the judiciary. And
they do, like packing the courts, getting rid of the Supreme Court, installing activists on the courts, using outside donors from other countries to put in raggedy DAs that will go after former presidents for no reason. Stuff like that. Having judges that daughters are making millions of dollars off of the case that they're overseeing, not to mention, he's using the gag order to silence Trump from talking about his daughter making millions. And here she is. They always go after the judicial system.
Judges and prosecutors are sitting in jail in Russia and Turkey. They've been forced out in Hungary. And the Washington Post did an investigation that Trump has attacked judges 138 times publicly since 2020.
The same judges, most of the time, the same raggedy, corrupt judges that y'all done went and shopped to find. Unlike you guys, though, that attack judges that seem to not vote for the things y'all need them to vote for. Somebody said fake news. That's right. You don't get faker than this. CNN is running. They're neck and neck right about now, but MSNBC is crazy fake though. CNN try to pretend sometimes that they're fake, but when you get MSNBC, the fakeness becomes, extremely obvious.
Me too. So that's an example. This is a systematic thing, and he knows what he's doing.
Y'all
He's
ready
a
for
very effective propagandist.
Y'all ready for this one?
So one of the
Yeah, we got to act like that was insightful. Yeah, that'll make it believable. Are you ready? Cue the All right, there we go. How could they not believe what we're saying if we go like, man, that was deep.
other aspects of this, Heath, I think is fascinating. So you have Trump basically corrupting.
Hey, yo, the rhino's back. Look at the rhino. I'm going to have to channel my inner Taji, the kid that almost got me fired because he was laughing with that big gold tooth at me. Made me mad. So now, yo, instead of bouncer being back, hey, yo, the rhino's back. So let's finish hearing from the rhino who's back.
The internal organs of the Republican Party, which you and I, diligently fought those battles back in the day to, bring some common sense, solutions that we thought would work for the American people. Have the back and forth with Democrats. All that's now gone. So the plate has been reshaped with something different. Yeah. And that something different are the Republicans.
Is the Republicans seeing through the rhinos? It's been reshaped to where we have a higher expectation for our politicians and our president. It's been reshaped to go ahead and embrace a populist movement that actually puts the power back into the hands of the people and retains some of our cultural values. Could you be referring to that, you big rhino? The rhino, y'all. So let's finish hearing what this Renault is saying, because he's about to tag in the other Renault. And listen to this rhino.
Who say, I don't like Trump. Okay, so the next question is, so who you voting for? Well, I think I'm going to write somebody's name in, or I'm just not going to vote. You have Nikki Haley out there still racking up a lot of votes, and you have political reporting that the Biden campaign is now looking at Haley voters as a core part.
Now you see the Renault reading his notes. This is not a off the top of his head idea, thought, question. Nope. Coordination. All right, what's our next talking point? What are we trying to emphasize? What is our goal and objective in this piece? Well, the goal and objective in this piece is to try to steer Republican voters away from Trump and paint Trump and all of his Republican supporters in the House and the Senate as radical extremists that aren't really, representing the Republican values. That we have to get back to that. We have to get back to your Mitt Romneys. Yeah, we got to get back to your George Bushes. We got to get back to that. See, that's what we got to get back to. And to do that, what should we do? Maybe look at supporting who?
Part of its reemerging coalition. Along with that, as you know, we have a friend in the former Lieutenant Governor of Georgia, Lieutenant Governor Duncan, who's come out and made a clarion call that could also move Republicans into that coalition. What's your assessment of that opportunity to get Republicans to create that permission structure, if you will, for them to say, okay, I know I'm not dancing with Trump. Let me go at least and see what Joe Biden is doing.
Now, do you see this attempt, this recruit of rhinos to try to get us back on that Republican plantation of rhinos? So now it's too late for these folks, man. They don't realize it. I mean, the horse have left the stable, man. Yeah. So here they are trying to get us back there and using fake people down in Georgia. Y'all need to come on back over here and vote like you used to for people like Nikki Haley. Somebody said, right in, Kevin, for governor. Absolutely. I govern the heck out of Georgia. I'd be like, I'm sorry, Ohio. I got bigger fish to fry. I'm going down to Georgia. Sweet Georgia. Yeah, first state of business is to get rid of Fat Fanny. All right, let's go ahead and immediately investigate her. Get rid of the lieutenant governor. Get him out of there. Anybody who's a rhino, get him out of there. Any type of prosecutor that is a fake prosecutor. Get him out of there.
I think you're going to see more folks like Lieutenant Governor Duncan come out and
make
that
not.
leap. Because look, the stakes.
No, you're not. Wishful thinking. You're trying to speak it into existence. This ain't church. You ain't in no Pentecostal church. I'm gonna speak it into the atmosphere. Don't be trying to speak that into the atmosphere. I rebuke you. You Renault. You hear him? I think we're gonna see more of that.
Stakes are high. I mean, he realizes it. He was on the front lines down there in Georgia.
Right.
Him, Brad Raffensperger, they know how close we came.
To what? They know from the rhino how close we came. To what? To winning? Which we probably should have won if it wasn't from the rhinos down there in Georgia. Unreal.
And this isn't a time to just go right in Ronald Reagan. Right? The stakes are high. I mean, you can do that if you want, but
what is he trying to say? See, this is what burns me up. What do you mean the stakes are high? You're supposed to be a Republican. What stakes are you referring to, dude? Show me the evidence of the damage that Trump caused. And I ain't talking about this fake narrative of J6. We all know what happened there, if you're smart. But yet this guy's getting up here talking about the stakes are high. Therefore, we would be better off supporting who?
Point. There has to be a line.
How do you make that argument? What was the argument we make to those Republicans?
Tell us all wise.
What should they be hearing? What should the Biden...
All right, now this segment is for us, y'all. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all looking nice and sharp? Yeah. Now, right now, we're supposed to be listening to these two rhinos. They're going to go ahead and tell us what we're supposed to be thinking. Here is how he's going to make his case.
Team be saying to them.
I mean, look, standing with Ukraine, foreign policy is one that...
Bam! Bam! That right there is not working. As soon as you bring up that crap, most MAGA voters say, get that crap out of here. What that got to do with us? We're not okay with all of the money being sent over to Ukraine. What does that have to do with us? You just lost us. You just lost us. But you two rhinos think that's one of the top priorities for Republican voters? They are way off, man. Or are they trying to go ahead and make us think these things are important?
I mean, if you look at Trump versus Biden,
We're looking. This is why we're all supporting Trump. This guy's reaching for a reason. See, the other rhino should have never asked the other rhino that how are you going to do this? How would you convince Republicans? You think that guy got a legitimate answer to that? Here's his response. Oh, shoot. You wanted a real, okay. Ukraine, maybe? No? Okay. Looking at between Biden and Trump, what about him?
Really like either of them. Right. Neither of them are really my cup of tea, but Trump said he's going to basically sell out Ukraine in 24 hours.
You're selling it for Trump. You're doing the opposite, buddy. It's not working. Maybe they're not in touch with how the voting base have turned and changed, and our priorities and our vision, our ability to see crap like this. Our priorities now have been readjusted. We don't fall for the old Warhawk trick every time anymore. We're starting to see that the greatest threat is from within our country by the fake news, rhinos, the deep state, the Democrats, all of them. We're starting to see that. Outside influences on our elections. We're starting to see that. And this man's talking about he's going to go ahead and abandon Ukraine in 24 hours. Absolutely.
Right. Back down. This guy is just, always praising strong men. He basically...
Oh, God. That's your argument? He's convincing us, y'all. There it is. Let me think, man. I'm really... He's always praising strong men. You mean like what? Strong men, or your mythical ideal of what a strong man is? I mean, because he talks about some wonderful, strong men, but I think you're talking about straw man.
He likes Vladimir Putin. So when you compare the two, it's not even close. And then look,
compare the two, it's not even close. Did y'all hear the raggedy elements that he just tried to use? Ukraine. He doesn't support Ukraine. He's going to abandon the support of Ukraine, and he's always saying things about Putin. It's not even close. It's not even close. Excuse me, Mr. Renault. Let me stick this right on your horn. I want to take this mic and put it right on this horn. Okay, so Those are the reasons why we should all abandon Trump. Hey, what about maybe the border? Is it close? Put that mic right on that big horn. Say, what about the border? Is that even close? What about crime? What about the economy? What about foreign relations? What about the stuff that we really value as Republicans and conservatives? Is it even close? So he gives us these flimsy, phony behind narratives to try to say it's not even close. But throw that slop up there and hope you're not smart enough. Now, if you're a Republican, you're watching MSNBC, for anything other than criticizing these people or knowing what your enemy is up to, or just good old-fashioned laughter, then you're probably not a solid Republican anyway. You're not a conservative. If you're watching them for your news, like, I want to find out how they're feeling about this because I get a better insight. And by now we all know that their whole goal and agenda is propaganda. They're owned by the deep state and they're liars. I don't even expect truth to come out of them when they do any segment. It just gives me some entertainment, some laughter, and the ability to know what their narratives are. So let's finish hearing this Renault. That's why I know anytime a conservative is on any of those networks, they're not real conservatives. They're rhinos.
President Biden's been president for 4 years. He will be basically in a second term lame duck at that point. Let's get rid of this Trump guy. And then the Republican Party can really heal and talk about what it's going to do to actually contribute to the future of the country.
And there's the goal. Let's get rid of that Trump guy so we can get back to business as usual. We want the uniparty back in business. So let's tolerate another 4 years of Joe Biden destroying the country. This rhino is suggesting that we entertain Joe Biden for another 4 years of destruction so we can get back to normal, rebuild the party. The party's being rebuilt right now in front of your eyes without you. I don't know what his goal is, what he's doing, what his job is besides being a rhino, but he's a fool.
Right now, the discussion is not about policy at all. Right. It's about Trump every day.
Right. You know what? I feel like I'm a fly on the wall at the country club. And this is an important conversation. And so I am struck by, Heath, your point about get rid of Trump and then the adults in the Republican Party.
I'm struck by that. I want you to go ahead and elaborate on that a little more so you can convince any of the voters that are not really conservatives, but they might be in the middle, a little more conservative than our radical left. We got to keep them on our squad. So please come out and give us a little more of that.
Can come back in the room. And I'm wondering what Ruth thinks about this too. But what about the fact that it's not just Trump? Like Trump at this point is, one could argue he's a problem, he's a symptom, but it is deeper than him. I mean, I think I'm looking at the Capitol as...
Why don't you just say it, Simone's Dome? It's the people. That's what it is. She's mad because Trump is like, give the power back to the people. Just say it. So it's not just Trump, it's those nasty, stinking voters who see through us now.
As I say this, and I think about all of the people that came right out there on those steps on January 6th. I think about all of the Republican members of Congress that are willing to go along and do Donald Trump's bidding, regardless of what it is, including the current Speaker of the House. And so what do you say to that? Because it feels like this has infected the root.
Well, there's certainly been...
What do you say? Mama say, mama sa makusa. Mama say, mama sa makusa. Mama say, mama sa makusa. Don't know what it means, but that's okay. Because that's what I'ma say when she talk about what do you say? Mama say, mama sa makusa. Mama say, mama sa. So let's finish hearing what this big dome, Destro having head, have to say about this.
And the lack of leadership throughout the Republican Party. I mean, Trump has taken up the oxygen in the room because there are no leaders in the Republican Party.
You see that fake? There are no leaders in the Republican Party. Yeah, we don't want the kind of leaders you're probably wanting in there. Get those Mitch McConnells out of there. Unfortunately, get Mike Johnson out of there at this point. We want real ones. Don't want no more rhinos. I'm looking for horns all over the place. If I even see a small one start to poke out, I'm like, what's that? What's that? Zoom in. Zzz. Is that a horn? What's that going? Oh, it's a pimple. Well, we can't be too careful. Okay, if that's a pimple, it could turn into a horn. Get rid of them, just to be safe. All right, move on to the next one. That's how I look at it. So let's hear from this guy right here trying to tell us how to get back on track of being a uniparty.
Everybody has just followed him in a train because nobody has really dared to take him on any of this stuff. So that's an element of it. But I think there is frustration out there among Republican voters.
Yeah, it is. The frustration is what people like you who claim they're Republicans and people like Mitch McConnell and people who always betray the voters that we send up to Washington and we tell them what we want, and all of the polls show that we don't support this or that, and they come right out there and they just say, so what? We know that our voters don't support this war in Ukraine, but we're going to go ahead and finance it anyway. We know our supporters are not okay with us signing this bill because of a broken border and all that stuff. We're like, fix this crap first. We ain't giving no money to nothing. But it's okay. It's okay. They'll be okay. What else are they going to do? Vote for Biden? No, what we need to do is vote these guys out. We don't want these kind of Republicans running the show. Anytime Democrats or fake news people start talking about the adults will be back in the room and they're referring to any conservatives, those aren't real conservatives. Those are uniparty members.
I don't really like that they're having to continue to excuse all of this stuff.
That's reflected in the numbers that we
For
get.
Nikki Haley's poll.
30%, 30 points in Marion County, 20 over 20%
She's not even
in
running.
Indiana. Girl been out the race. Lady been out the race 3 months. What's going on?
But I think that's an important question, for Ruth, in terms of how the politics of this begins to
get it together.
Get reshaped as you have Republicans getting that fog out of their eyes. And
no, you're not. Once again, wishful thinking, trying to speak it into the atmosphere. As I wonder, how can I introduce this concept and this theory, this lie, to our raggedy audience to make them think that somehow things are returning back to the uniparty. That's what I'm trying to do. That's the whole, purpose of this segment is for me and this other rhino here to try to make people in the middle or a little leaning more conservative think that they should abandon Trump and not support him. That's what I'm going to do. But what I want to do is jump on top of that open stadium like Benny Hill and go to work. So let's finish and close out with this lady with this crooked smile / speaking between her teeth has to say about it.
Going, there is another option, there's another way, and finding that permission structure, which is important when you're dealing with authorities that are trying to clamp down, like you said, on the judiciary and other aspects of our governing society to make them less relevant to the idea of what this country's about. Therefore, I need a strong man to fix it.
Absolutely. And I would go farther. Actually, Trump, like all strongmen, has a strict use and discard attitude toward people. And he's used the Republican Party cynically to get to power.
Why? He's used the Republican Party cynically to get to power. Why? What's his motive? See, that's why she needs to be in Kevin's corner. You want a real Republican on that set? You want a real feedback from a conservative? Send me. I'll go. Because I would immediately stick this mic right in her mouth and say, first of all, could you open your mouth when you talk? Yeah. All right. Secondly, what do you mean? Did he use the Republican Party to get to power? What would be his motive? What kind of power do you think Trump wants and needs at this point? That's my question. See, they say these things as if Trump is not already rich and powerful. Do you think if Hitler was a billionaire, had everything he wanted, he would have just had a chip on his shoulder and say, now that I've got everything I want, now I want complete domination in power. I will take over the whole country, and then I would... I mean, most of the time, when folks already got all the power, influence, and money they need, they go, well, what would becoming a president add to that? I already got as much money as I need, so now what would be the motive? But she's just saying Trump just wants power for power's sake. This is ridiculous. Nobody stops to think about this.
He's dominated them. He's made them his personal tool. And look what's happened to the RNC, which is now, he's got Lara Trump, his daughter-in-law, which is typical authoritarian thing. You put your families and your cronies in charge. And he's basically going to starve the RNC and make it his personal tool so that all the funds have to go to reelecting him and probably for paying his personal legal expenses, which the RNC already has a history of doing. So those Republicans are going to sit there. They're going to be like people I quote in my book who are...
Yes, because Donald Trump is evil. For evil's sake. That's right. Yes. Though, make sure all of my family members are running my campaign because I'm evil. That's it. He's just evil. He just wants power. As he sits there in his chair. Oh, wait a minute. He's a germaphobe. He won't be petting dogs. So we got to add that. Swap the dog out for money. There you go. As he's sitting there petting all of his billions, talking about I want more billions and I want more power because I'm evil, for evil's sake. See, this is like a bad movie that they're trying to sell to us. When you see a villain in a movie, you at least want to know what is the motivation of the villain so I can either empathize or say I can see what, besides just evil. Thanos, as bad as Thanos was, I got, when I look at people like this, I understand, why they wanted to snap. When I look at the Democrats and all of them, the stupidity that goes around. On one end, I'm going, yeah, his methods were a little, rough around the edges, but I could understand it. Yeah. But now all of a sudden they're just saying Trump is evil for evil's sake. And I'm going, well, what would be his motivation? If I'm reading the script that you're trying to sell to me.
Members of the fascist party, officials of the fascist party sitting in jail because they did stuff for Mussolini, and they're saying, oh, I wish I had known.
Here's the message. All of you Trump supporting congressmen and women, you got to look at Trump as on the wrong side of history. He's Mussolini, he's Hitler, and when this all blows over and we get back in power, you might find yourself being prosecuted by our infiltration of the government and our abuse of power and our co-opting of our judicial system. You might find yourself in a jail cell one day. Yeah, when we get finished rewriting history, we'll go ahead and write you guys in like, and here are the people who supported this attempt to take over the United States. Marjorie Taylor Greene, that's what she's saying right there.
Known earlier that he was sent to destroy the country, not to save it.
Well, I think...
and guys, we're going to close out with some dummies with money. Y'all ready for these dummies with money? Starting off with this guy who used to be a good actor. Yeah, so let's go ahead and see how who's all bought into this. Okay, y'all ready for this TDS right here?
I don't understand why people are not taking him seriously.
And I don't understand why you are taking these narratives seriously. See, I mean, I know you're getting a little older, Roberto, but you're telling me you can't see through the propaganda, but you want us to take it seriously? I'm smarter than you, Robert. Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, I'm looking at you now like a dummy. Anybody who would take the things that this man is about to say seriously is a dummy. I'm going, you know what I like? I like being smarter than you, Robert. I want your paychecks. Dang on it. Plus, I'm funnier than you anyway. So let's continue.
Because you read about it historically in other countries that they didn't take the people seriously. I think Hitler, Mussolini, but they're fools and clowns. Well, there will be, and I hear it. There's some people. I mean, who does not think that this guy is going to do exactly what he says he's going to do? Teacher, me.
Okay, Kevin, why do you feel that way? Okay, because he was in office for 4 years and he didn't do none of that stuff. Well, that is a pretty good answer, Kevin. I don't know why I didn't think of that as the teacher. Well, anyway, so what? Let's continue. See, because he's going to do everything that he didn't do the last time that we said he was going to do.
Right. He's done it already.
He's done it already. Okay. As the student, I got a question for you now, Mr. Teacher. What did he do? You know what? I'm the teacher. Don't ask questions. So he's done it already, and the people claps.
And then what? We're going to sit around and say, what? We told you so? Or...
Did you see Whoopi? You see Whoopi over there? hand on their face like, I'm taking it all in. So yeah, Dad, we're gonna say I told you so.
Whoever I told you so, it's going to happen. If he gets elected, it's going to change this country.
It's going to happen
for everybody.
For everybody, for the good. But I do want to know what it is. See, how do you tell me it's going to happen, but you're not telling me what it is and saying he's already done it? And I'm going, what did he already do? See, these are the fundamental questions that their brains, for whatever reasons, doesn't stop to ask.
Might think that it's going to make their life better. They just want to, excuse my French, literally. Those people.
And they got a rhino on their network too.
With anger and hate, because that's what he's about.
Oh, God. That's what he's about. The man who has dedicated the last 8 years of nothing but anger, hate, cursing every time. They can't even trust him to give a speech after some type of award or whatever, because immediately he's going straight into, and that Mickey Ficky Donald Trump and that filth, and then you know what, he's a fleeking bleep, 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 bleep. This guy, yeah, all this energy into hating Donald Trump for nothing. And the scary part about Robert is he's a believer. I know that. Like, once again, this guy, he doesn't need the money. He's not in it for propaganda. He's a believer. He done bought into it. He's suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. Just like Joey Behar and just like Whoopi. The rest of them on that set are just prostituting themselves for the most part. I think Sonny goes in and out. But at the end of the day, she has at least enough intelligence to know that, yeah, this is a bunch of bullcrap often. But hey, I'm getting paid to do this.
They're going to see. I mean, I used to see these things. I didn't understand how he and Rosie O'Donnell used to get it. I said, didn't really care. Yeah. I see what a hateful, mean-spirited, awful thing he is.
So she gets a pass, right?
Vicious to her.
He's vicious.
Yeah, she wasn't vicious, right? No, she gets a pass.
And why will he not do that in this country? He's already done it.
Yep. He's already done it. So now Trump's randomly picking people to just be mean to. Just random. They haven't done anything. They haven't said anything to provoke him. I think Trump counterpunches people. I think Trump recognizes stupidity and he will address that stupidity. I've seen him give a gazillion more compliments and praises to people than insults. Dummies or folks that deserve an insult gets an insult.
Yeah. Why would he not? When I say I want to punch him in the face, is what he said to a person, a bystander or somebody in one of his rallies.
Oh, about a bystander in one of his rallies. What did he say?
Yeah. He wants to punch him in the face.
You know, he wants to punch him in the face. Okay, so wait a minute. Let me understand. These bystanders in the rally that he wants to punch in the face. You mean like the ones that I saw when I was in his rallies? That gets in there, takes off their shirt. Trump sucks, Trump this and that, and starts going absolutely crazy. And then yet, when the police come to take him out, they, get off me, F that, man, yo, movie, all of that. Guess what? I want to punch him in the face, just like I want to gently put my knuckles up against your cheek, Robert De Niro, and just slightly rub right here with lots of force. That's all I want to do. I want to give you a scrub. I want to exfoliate all of the oldness off your face really hard. Let's continue.
You don't talk that way to people. What kind of person does?
Unlike you, who talks about being Trump.
Makes fun of the physically challenged. He makes fun of people who are physical challenged.
Oh, God. Now, you hear the other one? You hear the other dummy with money? These are dummies with money. So... the other dummy with money comes in. He talks about the disabled and
he trashes the military. He says that people who go to war are losers. Wake up.
Wake up. She's informing us. We're dropping nothing but lies out there. He talks about soldiers when I'm going, we are woke. And not woke in the sense that we're like you're woke. This being sleep, you're a sleepwalker. That's what you are. We see what's going on, and we see how it's impacted this big nose dummy right there. Dummy with money. She looks at that look right there is applicable. Like what? I have no idea what I just said. It's big fat lies, both of them.
On everything. What more do you need? It's almost like he wants to do the worst that he could possibly do to show this country. His slogan.
More cursing? Look at that. That's a lot of beeping. And the crowd cheers for the dummy with money. So now Trump, for whatever reason, wants to do bad things to the country and to the people for reasons. Once again, he's evil. There it is. He's just pure 100% unnecessarily evil.
And the other thing is,
oh God,
if he becomes president again, he's never listen. Okay. He's not going to not stop being president. You understand this? Yeah. His idea is to stay in until he drops dead.
How? Now, brown cow, do you hear the third dummy with money coming in? Tag me in. Tag in the cushion. I want to put my 2 cents in. So the cushion comes in with her 2 cents. And let me tell you, listen to the cushion now. Okay. If he get in, his intention is to stay in forever. At what, 80? Boy, I'm glad she's not my mama. I would have to run down to the set and drag her out of there. Mom, I can't let you continue doing this stuff to yourself. You're already rich. You don't have to go ahead and belittle yourself like this on TV. And unknowingly.
Okay.
See that look? That's the look of concern. She really believes it. Okay. I'm not doing this for propaganda. I believe this mess.
Eating it now. So
yes.
Imagine if he actually did win.
Good morning to you. You know, this.
So guys, we better see how all of this is affecting the people. Okay. See, they're all wondering as we went through tonight's show, why aren't these people falling for this, guys? What are we doing wrong? What's wrong with these people, man? They can't see the danger we're in. Well, guys, we better go ahead and close out with this.
Is one of the most closely watched counties here in the key battleground state of Georgia. So it seemed like the perfect place to come out and talk to Republican voters and see all of the coverage, all of the things that we're talking about with this New York hush money trial. How is it impacting them down here? So I spoke with about 5 different Republicans, and they represent a very wide cross-section, a very diverse group of Republican voters here in this county. And I asked them, how are they being impacted by this trial? Are they paying close attention? And what impact might a guilty verdict have on their decision to support the former president? Here's what they told me. Take a look.
Do each of you support Donald Trump?
I do.
Yes, for all 3 of you? Yes. Has this trial changed your opinion, even caused you to waver or question that at all?
No, it's actually caused me to support him more.
Reverse effect. There it is. Let's continue.
I just don't believe there's a coincidence that we have a trial happening in Atlanta. We have one happening in New York. So the question...
Little common sense. That's all it is. Common sense. Common sense, man. Nobody's looking at this and saying, well, Donald Trump must be pretty evil. We got 4 indictments, all these different trials. I'm sure he did stuff. I'm sure he deserves all of this in the middle of a primary and for voting season. And this opposition is controlling all of this. And I'm pretty sure it's all legit. That's the first kipper. That right there's the first tip off that something's going on, and they wonder why we're not believing them. They're wondering, they're scratching their domes. Like, what is it? How does he keep getting stronger? We don't understand. We're landing on thick. That's the problem. Landing on too thick. You're smothering us with this garbage.
People are beginning to ask themselves, like I did, it's like, why now?
It's pretty much everybody says they're picking on him. You know, people are tired of...
I like what the Rhino just said. Yeah. The Rhino, y'all, up here talking about that Trump's a victim. He's always talking about people are picking him. Everybody's coming down on him. Well, what could give us that impression?
Going after him, and you see it in so many areas. It's really not a big issue in the party. Actually, they're really making everybody mad, and they look at a big bully, and the government is the bully.
And nobody wants the government to be a bully. I would tolerate a big bully on the playground before I want the government, because that's a bully with resources. That's a bully that can back it up. See, so if you can pull all of those resources together to go after a former president and a billionaire and make it completely obvious that we are bullying this guy, picking on him, trying to stop him, take away his resources, throw him in jail, come with all these trumped up charges. Not only are we doing it, but we have also invoked all of the fake news to participate in this, as we just saw. Yeah, all of this stuff, all these odds stacked against Trump, and he's still giving it to him. Yeah, it's between him and us. Right now, he's giving it to him, and we're giving it to him because we see through the crap. And right now, we got his back. And they're mad at him and us. You heard him. It's not just Trump. It's she's and stuff. The people. In other words, Trump right now, he sees what's going on. So do the people. And all of our propaganda and manipulation isn't working, and it's frustrating. And all of these fake cases that we've concocted are falling through, which I'm going to be covering tomorrow, y'all. Since I missed 3 days, I'm going to give y'all what you want over the weekend. Baby, if you give it to me, I'll give it to you. I know what you want. You know I got it. Now let's finish hearing these folks school MSNBC and tell them why that mess ain't working no more.
This is going to be your first time casting a ballot.
Oh, a young boy.
What is it for you that drives your support of the former president?
I think always fighting. I mean, he's taken so much just defense from news and everything, but he still hasn't given up. He keeps fighting to do what's right.
I've talked to many people who formerly identified as a Democrat. They have changed their political persuasion to independent, and they are looking forward to voting for Trump because now they find something.
Wait just a minute, black lady, white nationalist. Wait a minute, you black lady, white nationalist. I just heard the rhino on MSNBC talk about there's a change coming. I see it in my spirit. I feel that the Republican Party is returning back to its rhino roots. We come against this populism. We come against MAGA. We want to return back to our rhino roots, where it all started from. We don't want that mess. We are done with that mess. So, yeah. I don't think him speaking it into existence is going to do anything.
In common with a political candidate at that level.
When you say they find commonality, what is that commonality?
They have felt persecuted by the system of American injustice. And it's not a stretch for them to think that Trump may be a victim as well.
Now, when Trump came out and said black folks can relate to him because of what they're doing to him, all of the fake news and all that. I can't believe it. This guy, how could he even bring that up? Look at the years of atrocities and white nationalism, racism, and slavery that the Democrats were responsible for. I can't believe he would say something like that, making a commercial, and all of that mess. However, you don't need somebody to go through all of the history of a certain race of people who have a gut feeling. See, what this does is it goes ahead and it confirms the suspicions that a lot of minorities have that the system is rigged, and the system will do whatever it wants when it wants to do it, and it will abuse its power when it is advantageous. It has nothing to do with the full-blown history of black people. It's the perception of not just black, but a lot of other people feel that the system is rigged when it needs to be. It will abuse its power at the drop of a hat, and it has revealed that by doing this to Trump. All this does is confirms to a lot of minorities that, see, I told you it was rigged, man. Now, you think if they won't make these provisions to go after Trump, they won't do it for any American citizen. It ain't just got to do with black. Any American citizen that bucks up against the machine. That's the scary part about it. So if I'm black, white, or otherwise, I'm sitting there going, dude, if I get a little too vocal, if I become a little too powerful, if I say the wrong thing, tick off the wrong person, they could go ahead and come down on me like a hammer, and I ain't got billions of dollars. I'm not the former president. I'm just Kev from Kevin's Corner. I can't even get underneath the thumb that's been put on my channel on YouTube. Why you think I'm out there working on the construction truck every night? Yeah, I'd rather be working on my channel. But I'm out there busting my butt because YouTube decided, well, he's not big enough to go ahead and really stomp out, but we don't want him to get bigger. So let's go ahead and put a full-blown thumb on this man's views, channels, everything. But that's okay, because you just can't hold I down. See, so if they can do that to small fries, big fries, big fish, you don't think they can do that to us? And people, that's thunder, y'all. Ooh, it's about to get down outside. I like it. Yeah, thunder out there talking about watch me get down and just do my thing, baby. That's right. Lets everybody know who's in charge. The big man upstairs. So yeah, if they can do that to Trump, they can do it to anybody. And all it does is confirms to everybody that, the system is too powerful. The government has too much power. So now we want that power back to the people.
People see that there's some kind of commonality between himself and maybe all the black men that have been incarcerated and the families that have been impacted by black male incarceration.
Really, what I heard among all of them, though, is that the trial only furthers their support of the former president in many cases, and that a guilty verdict would not impact their support.
There you go. It doesn't work. These cases are not impacting the votes and the support of Trump. People are going to do that. Only makes me want to support him more, because I am able to empathize with the person that is actually being persecuted. Real empathy. Not like these program radicals that say, let's find a victim to just jump on board and not even assess whether they're a real victim. Don't need evidence of them being a victim. We just want them to say, I'm a victim, like Juicy Smollett. That's what all these Marxist, stupid, brainless radicals fall for, because they don't require that hardcore evidence and common sense when it comes down to supporting someone. That's why they get duped all the time. Somebody come out and said it because I'm black, and then they did, and all of a sudden you find out that, oh, y'all fell for it again. But yet, we see all of the real evidence of Trump being attacked, and we say, now that's a true victim. If I'm going to get behind somebody that is a victim of persecution, I'm going to do my diligence, my due diligence, and I'm going to say, what makes me conclude that this person's a victim? And Trump has overwhelming evidence that he's the victim of a system that is designed to spew people like him out, because he is not a part of the machine. He's a virus that has been injected into the system, and they're attacking him. And I'm going, nah, man, leave him be. Leave them be. So God bless y'all. God bless America. Thanks. Somebody said, great show. I appreciate that. And I will be back tomorrow. Thank you, Dawn. She just posted my alternative channel, which I have not checked in a while to see if just like I've been saying, the system, trying to keep a brother down because he's brown. Let me see here. Let me do this. I'm going to see where we're at. Did we ever break 1,000? I don't know. Stupid old YouTube over here. Wait. Where's my mouse? Come on, mouse, where you at? Okay, there you go. My eyes are bad. Okay. All right, guys. The total. Oh, come on. Come on. Right now, we're at 901 subscribers. 901 subscribers on my Stop and Think About It channel. So, guys, if you get a chance to subscribe to that, Don posted the link in there. So please go ahead and subscribe so we can crack 1,000 and get that channel going, just in case they unexist me on this one. All right. Other than that, man, let's get ready to get out of here. I hope you guys have a great weekend. And like I said, I am going to be bugging you again tomorrow with a follow-up to what's going on with these trials and this exposure of these lying folks that the Democrats have brought in. Somebody said, I just subscribed. Yes. Yeah. So we'll be talking about that tomorrow and some other stuff. So be there, be square. On the way out, hit the like button if you haven't already. And if you want to support the channel financially, you can. There's links below the video to do that through Cash App, PayPal, and of course, follow me on all those other platforms that I have listed below. All right, thank you. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Because, baby, if you give it to me, I got to give the people. Got to give the people what they want. I know you see the way we tear up the place, yeah. God bless. Take care.